Hello, I am Red Mage, and welcome to a Magic the Gathering video featuring the color red. In today's video, Goblins in Wilds of Eldraine Standard. I knew there were people playing Goblins in Standard, but I didn't think much of it until subscriber Nicholas Anderson recommended it. Before playing this deck, I thought Goblins was a cute, mostly strictly worse version of Mono Red aggro. After all, there are very few decent Goblins in Standard right now. And sure, we could shove them all in the same deck just because there is a good Goblin Lord. But would that be a good deck? The answer is absolutely yes. Not only is Goblins not worse mono red, it is a deeply synergistic deck with both more explosive potential and more late game staying power than a traditional mono red aggro deck. Rundvelt Hordemaster is an incredible tribal lord. The card advantage really puts it over the top. And yes, this card is the reason to play Goblins specifically, but the rest of the deck has synergies beyond tribal association. Cacophony Scamp and Picnic Ruiner especially benefit from the +1/+1 of Hordemaster, but they also go really well with Monstrous Rage. We're not going full combo with extra pump spells and sacrifice outlets, but since Monstrous Rage is such an incredible card, it makes sense to play the best creatures for getting wins out of nowhere. Redcap Gutter-Dweller is an exceptional value engine on its own, but it also helps to grow our Exuberant Fuselings. Squee is a generically powerful card that also provides fodder for Redcap Gutter-Dweller. And the Fuseling and Hordemaster provide a benefit anytime we're just suiciding Squee's token into a 2/2. Kumano is the best aggro 1-drop in Standard, and we have 3 Witchstalker Frenzy and 2 Play with Fire. I generally prefer more removal than that, but Monstrous Rage serves as an honorary removal spell, allowing us to attack into tricky board states. For the mana base, I do want to have the option of casting the Stolen Goodies side of Picnic Ruiner in situations where we top deck it and need to win the game that turn. But I don't want to play Pain Lands in a metagame with so much aggro, and Copperline Gorge can prevent us from being able to cast Gutter-Dweller on curve, so I'm only playing 1. And I'm playing 1 Mirrex, which can produce green mana the turn it comes into play, and also provides sacrifice fodder to the Gutter-Dweller, and then 1 Mishra's Foundry to provide a little more reach. I really can't overstate how fun and interesting this deck is to play, and it can win a lot. Enjoy the gameplay, and we'll be back at the end to wrap up. This looks like a pretty good hand to me. We'd kind of wish to have something other than the Hordemaster to put the +1/+1 counter on, but it's totally fine. Only because this is our most valuable creature, so we don't want to make it more enticing to kill. We do want to draw a land so we can Squee next turn, but Monstrous Rage is not a terrible backup plan. Or Picnic Ruiner, that's fine too. So they clearly have a removal spell and they're like, do I want to give them a trigger or not? And they're deciding not to. Perhaps because we don't have another Goblin at the moment. But this is going to stretch their removal spells because the Kumano is definitely our least valuable creature now. So we could play the Squee now, but I feel like we've got to just Picnic Ruiner while we have the chance. So so 1 Monstrous Rage gets it to 6 power. The second Monstrous Rage gets it to 8 power. So assuming they block the Hordemaster, we'll be 1 point short of killing them. We could Monstrous Rage the Hordemaster after they block. That doesn't seem so bad. That way they have nothing, and we've got a Squee for next turn. Now, unfortunately, losing the Hordemaster does mean that Picnic Ruiner won't have double strike next turn, but it looks like it's not going to matter.
I've come.
I've always hated crowds.
We have a good 1, 2, 3 curve. Looks like the opponent might as well. Playing the mountain instead of the Copperline Gorge just to hide information makes it look like Romano red. Shouldn't matter too much, but just in case. Oh, yikes. Okay. So this is going to get a bit scary. We don't have any interaction, so all we can do is keep a proactive game plan and hope they don't have the win rolled up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna even just get through this. Picnic Ruiner, huh? Yeah. So they're definitely playing Monstrous Rage. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. We're just not going to be able to beat this. But I don't think chumping with the Hordemaster is going to do it. The problem is that next turn they can give it pro red with the Skrelv and we can't block it. Oh, right? Doesn't that... Can't be blocked. Hexproof. Yeah, okay. And it can't be blocked. I guess I'm just going to play both Scamps and hold up Monstrous Rage. Again, it's almost certain that they can just kill us next turn. Okay. It's strange that they would play the second Virtuoso. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, they have the win rolled up next turn. They could just do the same thing again. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything we can do, even if we attack with everything and they don't block a single creature. Or maybe there is, but anyway, we'll see what happens. It's our only choice. We do 4 extra damage with the Squee by Monstrous Raging it, but quite a bit more than that with the Scamp, right? Oh my god. We have it. I didn't bother doing all of the math because I didn't uh I didn't think there was any actual way we would get there. Wow. What a game. I can't believe I cannot believe that. Wow. We're definitely keeping this hands. It's not our preferred, obviously we want a 2-drop. But at least we have a second Fuseling. That's pretty good. Looks like we're up against ramp, most likely. Ramp and or control. What? I'm just going to attack here and let the trade happen if that's what's going to happen. We'll get the counter on the other Fuseling. Alright. Oh, okay. I mean, that's a good ramp card, but it's not super scary. So, we could hold up Monstrous Rage, but I think it's better to just play the Squee. I don't mind trading any of the 1/1s with the Might. I don't think there's any reason to do this. I guess we sort of like double up our Fuseling counters, but it's not like they're going to have Farewell this turn or something. Any Wrath will be one that destroys it, so we'll get the trigger then to deal the damage. What is up with this Haywire Might? I guess, they're gaming against the Mirror. So most likely they're going to activate their Realm Breaker, right? Either that or they've got like Igonjo, maybe. So I think again we just attack with everything and kind of just let whatever happens happens. Okay. So the fact that they're blocking the Fuseling suggests to me that they don't have a Wrath. Because they see the Fuseling as a threat, and they don't want it around for the future. So I think we just let this happen, and we will play Redcap Gutter-Dweller, hope they don't have a Wrath. They definitely could have Sunfall next turn, and that would basically destroy us, and we're playing into it, but I would think they would chump the Squee in that case. I mean, they could have done it that way to trick us, right, for sure. Okay, so they don't have that. Just another Haywire Might. These 4 Haywire Mites don't do a whole lot. I mean, if they have nothing, then we win easily. Okay, that's fine. So I think I'm going to start by Monstrous Raging the Squee, because we have a backup one, and if they kill that one, it's okay. But we can only cast this turn. Alright, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 when that dies. But they'll gain 2 life first anyway. So I think it seems like they don't really have anything. So I think we just go for it. Monstrous Rage the Scamp, and that will finish them off. That's a reasonable thing to do. I think we still have it, though. Oh, no. Oh, right, because it doesn't have trample anymore, and we can't sacrifice it. Okay. So, in this case, I do think we just Legend Rule a Squee into the graveyard so that we can cast it next turn if there's a Wrath. And we want to keep the one with the aura on it. And they have nothing. Alright, this is a pretty good hand. What do we want to be playing first? I think it's the Fuseling. Fuseling, Picnic Ruiner, and then Scamp on turn 3 most likely. And that way if they kill the Picnic Ruiner, we get a trigger on the Fuseling. Is there any chance we want to save the Picnic Ruiner for the Stolen Goodies side? That would make us really slow. But if they have like Swift Spear, Play with Fire on the Ruiner, that's going to wreck us pretty hard too. I think we go ahead and just play it out. And hopefully if they do kill it, we'll draw some more gas. Okay, they have the Swift Spear. Do they have the Play with Fire? Looks like it. They have something. Yep. Brutal. So they're surely going to be attacking with both the Kumano and the Swift Spear next turn. So I think we count on that for being able to Witchstalker Frenzy. So it's incorrect of them to not attack with the Kumano, because if the Scamp blocks, it would get exiled, and I wouldn't get the trigger to be able to finish off the Kumano. Okay, wow. Things are turning around for the better. I think we want to get aggressive. I don't mind trading the Fuseling with the Kumano. If that happens, we've got, you know, we're much less likely to get killed out of nowhere by them. And now we're set up to Monstrous Rage something to kill them out of nowhere. They just have like Godric or something. Let's see. What do you got? What else you got? Then we can Monstrous Rage the Scamp. It'll be 4 power. That'll be 8 total damage. We will sacrifice a rat, which will make the Gutter-Dweller a 4/4 and the Fuseling a 3/1. So we've got 4, 8 with the Scamp. 12. Yeah, we have way more than lethal. That's pretty good. So is there any way we don't have it? They can block the Squee and the Fuseling, and then they'll take 1, 2, 3, 7. They'll take at least 1 from the Trample, and then Monstrous Rage on the Scamp does finish them off. Okay, I think we've got it no matter what they do. I did forget about the Kumano messing up the Scamp if they had blocked the Scamp, but this will be enough to get us there. Awesome. Alright, going first. Don't have a 2-drop, but otherwise it's a great curve. Opponent mulliganing. Okay. Well, land is a bad draw, except for the fact that it gets us to Gutter-Dweller on time. Looks like control. Okay. Well, let's hope they don't have a Wrath. I'm guessing if they had a Wrath, they would have cast it by now. Gonna play the Fuseling now so that if anything dies in combat, I get the trigger from it. So, we could attack with the Mishra's Foundry. We would still have Witchstalker Frenzy up in case if they tried to make a token with Emperor. They surely wouldn't do that. They would just exile the Gutter-Dweller if they were going to do that. In any case, this seems like a good option. Yeah. Okay, we'll see what happens here. If they don't have a Wrath, we're in pretty good shape. They do have the Wrath. So, only 2 cards in the graveyard. I think we want a Fuseling plus Sokenzan. Get some more cards in the graveyard. Next turn... Okay. Well, that's not bad. If all they're going to do is activate their token, then we can kill it before it blocks. I guess we might as well do this now, prevent them from blocking, and then we can bring the Squee back next turn if they have a Wrath. I think they need Farewell to survive. Okay. There you go. And we're back to wrap up. What really struck me about this deck is how all the pieces work together to make a really powerful, cohesive whole. Exuberant Fuseling is a perfect example of this. This is undoubtedly our weakest card just on its own merits. But because all of the other creatures in the deck are more attractive to kill, this often ends up being a 3-1 or a 4-1 within a couple of turns. And because it has trample, even if you end up eventually trading with a 1-1 token, you're still going to get through a lot of damage before it dies. Cacophony Scamp, Picnic Ruiner, and Monstrous Rage get you wins out of nowhere. Redcap Gutter-Dweller and Rundvelt Hordemaster allow you to take a patient, long-game approach in difficult board stall situations, knowing that eventually their card advantage, combined with the explosiveness of Monstrous Rage and Friends, will allow you to eventually break through the board stall and end up winning the game. I went 6-2 on the ladder with this deck for a 75% win rate, albeit with a low sample size. And I think that because this deck has the best of both worlds in terms of explosiveness and staying power, that it really has what you need in order to have fun and get wins at the same time. Let me know in the comments what build of Goblins you prefer, and I'll see you in the next one.